Hey guys, welcome to Sector 1, Jay here. If you guys haven't liked, please like and subscribe. Today I'm going to have a chat to you guys about close encounter of the fifth kind, CE-5, devised by Dr. Stephen Greer. He's managed to tap into pretty much the protocols of contacting different alien species that's quite far away or close by, if they have underground bases or in the sea. So the close encounters were devised by Alan Hynek, who was in charge of the Blue Book investigations on the UFOs. So he gave a couple of classifications up to the fourth kind, and Dr. Stephen Greer made the fifth protocol. So close encounter of the first kind, you need to have visual sightings of the unidentified flying object. It'll have to be like 150 meters away to be considered close encounter of the first kind. And then close encounter of the second kind is a physical effect alleged to interfere with the surrounding, like it will kind of affect the functioning of any vehicle, electronic device, animals reacting to it, psychological effect, heat, discomfort, paralysis, physical trace evidence on the ground, and on persons or objects. So that's close encounter of the second kind. And then close encounter of the third kind is where the UFO encounter, the occupants, you actually see the occupants, the entity is present. These include robots, humanoids, animals maybe, the pilot, the crew, so anything that's from the alien craft, I guess. And then close encounter of the fourth kind is an event where the human is taken actually into the craft and the occupants, by the occupants, where they've taken the person to do some study and then maybe witness some experiments on maybe missing time, and then they put them back to where they were taken. So that's close encounter of the fourth kind. And then close encounter of the fifth kind, who Dr. Stephen Greer, who he made. So close encounter of the fifth kind is human-initiated contact with these civilizations, inviting them into Earth and to a specific location where everybody is gathered, meditating and sending out directed imagery, thoughts, connecting to consciousness to welcome these visitors to where they are at the location. So those are the protocols from 1 to 5. And another thing to I was wondering, since Dr. Stephen Greer is contacting these visitors with CE-5, I'm guessing the technology will have to be quite advanced. So I was looking at Michikaku. He had actually put a scale down of like the type of civilizations that he reckons that might be visiting us, and it's pretty much like a power scale, right? So like a civilization, depending on the power consumption, they would have certain type of scale. So pretty much we're at type 0 because our power consumption is still relatively low, and we're not interstellar, we're just just getting into spacefaring species. So it goes type 1. Type 1. The species have harnessed all the energy available in the neighboring star system and gather and store and meet the energy demand of a growing population. That means we will need to boost our current energy production 1,000 times to reach this status. So that's just to get to type 1. This is pretty much harnessing all of Earth energy and then starting to harness the surrounding volcanoes, probably geothermic, maybe even from the sun. With that type of technologies, they would have been, type 1. They would have harnessed all the weather. They can control the weather. They can travel between their solar system, or maybe even travel in between stars, but relatively close. So they're just only type 1. Okay, and type 2. Type 2, they're interstellar, so they're jumping between stars and they're harnessing, the whole star system, probably like controlling a star as a method of gathering their energy supply. So if they see a dead solar system and it's got a sun there, they might build a Dyson sphere around it just to harness the energy from the sun. Or they could pretty much terraform any planets, dead planets to living planets. So in terms of power consumption and technology wise, they're relatively quite advanced. So they're going from interstellar, right? So type 3. So type 3, this is quite interesting. I think Dr. Stephen Greer was CE-5. He's probably contacting type 3 civilization. So type 3 civilizations are, they've mastered interstellar travel. They're pretty much, the whole universe is their playground, and their power consumption is massive, and they can pretty much harness dying planets, rekindle the dying planets. They can harness the entire galaxy, and the universe is pretty much their playground. So I'm thinking type 3, they become pretty much immortal. So like all the technology they've already discovered, so they could, their playground is interdimensional. The universe, the galaxy is harnessed for their energy consumption. So I reckon Dr. Stephen Greer is contacting most likely type 3 by the means of their travel, by direct thought, and the amount of time it takes for them to travel from one end to Earth. It was a few hours, I guess. So I'm guessing we're dealing with type 3 civilization that come to explore. So all their technology is integrated into consciousness, because there's no time delay, like point to point using laser and radio signal will take like eons just for one signal to arrive to the next. By that time, so much have elapsed that the signal and the message will no longer be valid, So I'm thinking, like the civilizations that are quite advanced, they would already have some form of communication device that bypass time. And what can bypass time? Direct thought is instant. It's vibration frequency matching the other person's, and it just appears instantly, right? So it's kind of what Bashar is doing with Darrow Ankin. So they're matching frequency that allows them to have direct thought and instant. It doesn't matter of distance, it doesn't matter of time, as long as the frequencies are matching, it can be transmitted and received instantly. So that's any super advanced civilization, they would have that type of knowledge, and to be able to apply it to their technology. So it'll mean like the technology must be consciousness. So if it's consciousness, it means that their technology is sentient as well, because consciousness is part of this existence and part of a living organism that's connected to the universe, I guess. So it's tapping into that field. It's able to vibrate at the same frequency of thought. So most likely the objects or their craft is alive, and their instruments are able to pick up on thoughts. That would mean that their instrument is either super advanced AI, sentient AI, or biological, mechanical ships, or crystalline ships with organics. So just a thought of what type of technology they're using and how advanced these visitors are. So I'm guessing most of the ones that are popping in when Dr. Stephen Greer is connecting to them via meditation and consciousness would be actually type 3, because the way they're popping in and out just to have a visit, it means that their level of technology is surpass us. Like, they're most likely indestructible, and all their technology is consciousness integrated. Even maybe type 2. I mean, type 2 is interstellar, but not intergalactic. Type 3 is intergalactic. But yeah, just a thought. Because telepathy and mind to mind and direct thought is the key to communication at vast distances, because it doesn't rely on distance or time in this instant. But we're saying that if they can pick up direct thought like that just with their vehicles, it means that the species, type 3 species, are quite enlightened. Like, they would know a lot about consciousness and the makeup of the universe, to be able to tap into that level. Usually at the dream state, that's like dream state level. So to be able to vibrate at that frequency and that level, and most likely most of them are like probably ascend the master levels. But yeah.